Top 10 Tearjerker movies about women's lives and struggles. Get your tissues ready, because today we're diving into some of the most powerful, heart-wrenching films you'll ever watch. These aren't just sad movies, they're deep explorations of women's lives and the struggles they face, showcasing everything from unwavering friendships to unthinkable hardships. Whether it's the bond of sisterhood or the resilience of a mother fighting for her child, these stories tug at our emotions and remind us of the strength and vulnerability that define the human spirit. Stick around for our top 10 tearjerker movies about women's lives and struggles. You might shed a few tears, but you'll also gain a new appreciation for the power of perseverance and hope. Beaches. Why it's a tearjerker. Beaches is the quintessential story of enduring female friendship. Bette Midler and Barbara Hershey bring to life two women from vastly different backgrounds who form a bond that transcends time, disagreements, and life-changing circumstances. Emotional core. Their relationship faces love, heartbreak, illness, and career ups and downs, all culminating in one of the most heartbreakingly tender third acts in 80s cinema. The theme song, Wind Beneath My Wings, adds that final punch of sentimentality. Women's lives and struggles. It beautifully showcases the emotional complexity of women's friendships, how they can be tested by jealousy, ambition, and personal tragedy, and yet remain unbreakable. Room. Why it's a tearjerker. Room follows the harrowing story of a young woman, Joy, Brie Larson, held captive for years, raising a son in a single locked room. The bond between mother and child is both heartwarming and devastating. Emotional core. The film shifts between the claustrophobic life in captivity and the overwhelming challenges they face upon returning to normalcy. Watching Joy's resilience and her son's innocent worldview can evoke powerful emotions. Women's lives and struggles. It spotlights motherhood under the most desperate conditions, the trauma of abuse and isolation, and the immense strength required to rebuild a life after profound hardship. The Joy Luck Club. Why it's a tearjerker. Based on Amy Tan's beloved novel, The Joy Luck Club brings multiple generations of Chinese and Chinese-American women together, weaving stories of sacrifice, love, and cultural identity. Emotional core. Each of the mothers and daughters' experiences, ranging from arranged marriages to heartbreak and lost children, reveals a tapestry of pain, hope, and triumph. The mother-daughter relationships are deeply relatable and often heart-wrenching. Women's lives and struggles. The film deftly explores how cultural expectations and generational trauma shape women's identities, and how understanding and empathy can heal long-standing wounds. Steel Magnolias. Why it's a tearjerker. A group of strong Southern women stand by each other through weddings, childbirth, illness, and day-to-day dramas. Laughter and tears exist in equal measure, making the emotional highs and lows feel intensely real. Emotional core. Centered around Shelby, Julia Roberts, and her mother Llewellyn, Sally Field, the film's deeply affecting climax can leave you in tears, highlighting the fragility of life and the power of communal support. Women's lives and struggles. The story celebrates female solidarity in a small town, showing how friendship and family become lifelines amid personal tragedies. Terms of Endearment. Why it's a tearjerker. This Oscar-winning classic, starring Shirley MacLaine and Deborah Winger, focuses on a mother-daughter relationship filled with conflicts, reconciliations, and ultimate heartbreak. Emotional core. The film dissects everyday tensions between mothers and daughters, and it doesn't shy away from devastating illness. The final hospital scenes bring out tissues without fail. Women's lives and struggles. From the pressures of marriage and motherhood to the pain of losing a loved one, Terms of Endearment is a masterclass in how life's ups and downs can bring people closer or tear them apart. The Color Purple. Why it's a tearjerker. Directed by Steven Spielberg and based on Alice Walker's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, The Color Purple confronts abuse, racism, and self-discovery. Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah Winfrey, and Margaret Avery deliver powerhouse performances. Emotional core. Celis, Whoopi Goldberg, journey from voicelessness and oppression to empowerment and self-love tugs at the heart. The reunion and sisterhood moments throughout are profoundly emotional. Women's lives and struggles. It highlights the systemic oppression Black women endured in the early 1900s. Their resilience, bond, and fight for dignity remain deeply inspiring and soul-stirring. Fried Green Tomatoes. Why it's a tearjerker. The film intercuts between a depressed housewife's present-day story and flashbacks to the 1920s/1930s in Whistle Stop, Alabama. Revolving around two best friends, Iggy and Ruth, and their unbreakable connection. Emotional core. Friendship, heartbreak, and a mysterious tragedy form the backbone, with the film's final revelations providing catharsis. The theme of chosen family resonates strongly. Women's lives and struggles. Domestic abuse, societal pressures, and the limitations placed on women are confronted in an era when defiance could be dangerous. Yet these characters find strength in each other. Sophie's Choice. Why it's a tearjerker. Meryl Streep's Oscar-winning performance as Sophie, a Holocaust survivor with an unimaginable secret, makes this film exceptionally intense and moving. Emotional core. The pivotal revelation of Sophie's agonizing choice is one of the most devastating scenes in cinema history, guaranteed to bring tears to your eyes. Women's lives and struggles. Sophie's trauma and how it affects her relationships with those around her illustrates the lifelong consequences of extreme trauma and guilt, and the complexity of survival. Pieces of a Woman. Why it's a tearjerker. Vanessa Kirby stars as Martha, a woman grappling with unimaginable loss after a home birth goes tragically wrong. The raw vulnerability and sorrow portrayed make for an emotionally difficult watch. Emotional core. The film's lengthy, unflinching childbirth scene sets the tone. Martha's grieving process and her changing relationship with her partner and mother offer a heart-rending depiction of coping with tragedy. Women's lives and struggles. It explores themes of motherhood, grief, family interference, and the societal expectations that weigh on a woman in mourning. Little Women. Why it's a tearjerker. Greta Gerwig's adaptation of Louisa May Alcott's classic novel breathes new life into the March Sisters story. There are multiple movie versions, but this recent one amplifies the emotional highs and lows. Emotional core. The deep sisterly bond, the yearning for freedom, and the heartbreak that visits the family never fail to resonate. The portrayal of Jo's determination to break free from gender expectations while cherishing her roots is especially moving. Women's lives and struggles. The film underscores the limited opportunities for women in 19th century society, highlighting the sisters' different paths to self-discovery and the emotional cost of making hard choices. Honorable mentions. A League of Their Own. Not typically labeled a tearjerker, but the emotional bonds and farewell scene can be heart-rending. Brooklyn. A quietly emotional story about immigration and personal sacrifice. Wild. Cheryl Strayed's introspective journey while hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, processing grief and personal failures. And that's our list of unforgettable tearjerkers about women's struggles. Let me know which films hit you the hardest, and if I missed any hidden gems. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay up to date. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Lady Rouge. Celebrating stories that inspire.